reliable poke comp. They knew what they would and wouldn't get. Obviously no Jace. They prepared Ezreal. They prepared Xerath. Seemed fine, right? Seemed okay, but okay, now what's next for them? Do they keep playing poke and hope that like different bans win the game? Do they say that didn't work at all, new strategy entirely? It's a tough situation to be for TDK. They get one more chance to fix everything.
And here's the thing is I want to iterate on the format of things is winner of this is guaranteed in promotion tournament.
Yeah.
So that you make it to the finals, you're in promotion tournament. You at least play an LCS team, possibly auto promo.
Right.
Loser has to play third, fourth place match to see if they get that last spot. So if Fusion lock this in, then they get to start focusing on at least competing for an LCS spot against an LCS team.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun set of games to watch overall. The picks and bans have come through. You said the Urgot and Sedge bans would come through. They did, in fact. TDK, oddly enough, actually keep the Aurelia ban, and they drop off both the Sion and Lulu bans from Game 1. Actually surprised to see Sion left on the table and Aurelia not. Either way, first pick Rek'Sai. Fusion maybe wanted to do some of TDK's work for them, though, as they grab the Rek'Sai. The Nidalee you talked about before still on the table, so potentially a strong champion available for Kez.
Yeah, the Nidalee is something that Kez has played in the jungle with much success. And look at that, we're back in picks and bans.
So we got to restart the pick and bans. That's okay. So Jace.
Whoa, how'd you do that?
Sejuani, you ready? It's going to happen, I promise. I don't even know why TDK waits. They're obviously going to ban this champion. I even know it. It's Morgana and what? I forgot the other champion that they... So I got the Morgana. There's the Aurelia. And then it's going to be Urgot down there. But what's the other one?
on this side. Ah, Lissandra.
Yeah, it was Lissandra.
Okay,
right. Seraph was a great list.
Seraph had a really good Lissandra performance in the top lane. It's the one where he made a comeback by TPing behind the enemy, home guard boot Lissandra.
Wasn't that on Fusion?
Yes, exactly, against them. Straight down from blue buff to the dragon to flank Niantanso, immediately locked him up, so they take the point and click away from him onto their AD carry.
Yeah, I actually do like that Fusion kind of remove a lot of the guaranteed hard engage when they're an AD carry centric team, especially generally unsafe AD carries. He loves Jinx a lot there for Niantanso, so maybe Kez will play Vi if they still care about that AD carry lockdown role. But anyway, first pick Rek'Sai comes through. Chunky Fresh gonna get that one over to Nintendo Dex, I imagine. Seems like Nintendo wants Sejuani to tank jungler, but that's it. Everything else can stay on the table.
That's true. As soon as he doesn't get that tank jungler, he's not going for Nautilus. He doesn't want Zac.
That's actually the only tank jungler we've seen in Challenger, to my knowledge. I know like Azingi plays Zac. In LCS, like, Nautilus has only been a support so far, from what I can tell. There's some new players out there, but like, no Amumu, no Volibear, no Skarner, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Sejuani or bust. Oh well.
Sejuani or go back to the old ways. Yeah, that's very true. You didn't see any last week. A lot of people play the Nidalee too.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, you know, powerful poke compositions with Nidalee. I think that could be very strong for these guys, and it does come through. So Kez gets that, and they get a disengaged support finally. And if you're not facing a Sejuani, and potentially not even facing a Rumble here, now that more champions are left open, Janna actually does her job here. I think Janna is actually very weak against like the likes of Rumble, Sejuani. Champions that deal damage to the backline without putting their bodies in the backline. Yeah. Because then entirely like half the point of Janna ultimate's gone. But since Fusion likely won't pick these champions, Janna gets much better. TDK can pick a reliable poke comp here.
I really like that. He can just disengage it. The Janna is something that I don't think they played last time they played their poke comps. No, they were going with the Sona when they had their poke comps with Nidalee Jace.
Yeah, it was.
Now they have actually a little bit more disengage. It is going to be not as much of a sustain lane, so Louis is going to have to play it a little bit safer, a little bit, actually arguably a little bit more aggressive. Because when you have a Janna, you kind of have to just use those timing windows. Yeah, you have to use those windows.
You can't play back because you can only ever get behind in a situation like that.
And that's the thing too, is you always want to use the Janna shield offensively as you're attacking. You don't want to have to use it defensively because they immediately hit you with something and then the shield is gone and you lose the AD bonus.
Yeah, you kind of want like a 2 auto attack trade where like you hit them with the AD, you hit again, they break the shield, and you're like, all right, whatever, we won that trade by like 300 damage, no big deal. Now, first two picks come through, next two picks, I should say, for Fusion come through. Alistar against Janna, I like that quite a bit,
hard
actually.
Engage.
You can combo her, you have hard engage, and Orianna mid, if who he would play, it would be good here as well. And the Scion top comes through for Chunky Fresh. I am actually very surprised that Fusion are allowed to play Scion here. I think it's his best champion. It's going to be good to see him on this. Or we see Trance fail miserably on jungles, or on support Scion, but Alistar's already here.
I mean, it could be a jungle Scion, Rek'Sai top. There's a lot of different combinations here.
There are.
But it is most likely Rek'Sai jungle, Alistar support. We have seen Trance on the Alistar. Like we said, his scoreline on it, 0-0-28.
Yep. Over 2 games against 2 different teams. That's true. I don't know if we're going to see another game like that, though. TDK look raring to go, and they've picked up more into their comp here. So, wait, that's either Zach top for Seraph, or Kez isn't jungling this Nidalee.
So when Seraph came over, he was a big Yasuo, Lissandra, Nidalee top player. He just didn't get to play them because they fell out of the meta, and he became a tank top meta when he joined CLG. So he is a Nidalee top main. Yeah. Back in the day, back when he was in Korea. When he came over here, he had to drop it. He played it in solo queue, but that's probably an old school pick for him. All right, well, I assume that's going top. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good choice. You're right. Luigi G's going to get Graves for himself, though, so a lot of front-loaded damage here. I really like Graves Janna as a lane. Just amplify the AD for the burst power. I think it's really good. But a lot of sort of forward motion damage for TDK. Their front-sided burst is quite good here, led by a Zac. Last few champs come through for Fusion. They get a team fight comp for these guys. LeBlanc in the mid to create some havoc, but Sivir, Alistar, Rek'Sai, Sion running forward, starting battles, hard engaging. Run you down, engage, even not by like gap closing. It's everybody's going to run at you very, very quickly, very fast. Everybody on that team has some type of gap close or some type of move block, except for Sivir, but she gives everybody increased movement speed. Right. I question how good that is against Janna, though. When your goal is to get in and someone else's goal is to just keep you out, it can't be hard to keep. And again, these guys engage only with their bodies, which is what Janna's actually much better at. So I worry a bit for Fusion if they counterpick themselves ever so slightly. Either way, mid laner coming in. Nidalee, I agree with you, is probably on Seraph. Could still go mid for Kyle. He plays a lot of those poke champions after all. The final champion, 5 seconds to go. What will round out the comp? The hover is onto Lulu. Well, one of the bans they chose to drop from last time. And again, it surprised me that they would ban Lulu if they're willing to pick it for themselves for one of their comps, considering game 1 here. And it will be going in. So Kyle on Lulu, it looks like. Could be a Lulu top for Seraph. And Kyle having a poke champion in the mid lane. They still have time to swap it. But I do want to talk about the Zac, because the last time we'd really seen Zac played a couple years ago was before his ultimate got increased knockback range. Now it knocks people back 500, 600 units instead of the original, I think it was 250 or 350. So it actually has a substantial knockback on it. So it can be used as a disengage tool and a tool that spreads a team. Yeah, punt him out of there. And honestly, TDK, not a heavy AoE team, so it's not like you're like screwing over an Orianna or something, or screwing over maybe even like a Karthus Defile and whatnot. So TDK, yeah, able to create a lot of space, able to single out their targets really well, which is actually a nice thing to have. And the second question is then how well can they survive against the Fusion onslaught here? Champions seem to be locked in. It is going to be top lane Nidalee, Zac jungle, mid lane Lulu. That's the comp here. I'm excited. I'm excited for that top lane Nidalee. I want to see how Seraph performs on a champion that he's a huge advocate of, but he didn't get to play a whole lot and was pigeonholed previously. And it seems like they wanted to let Chunky Fresh play Sion a bit more. I guess a docile of a top laner here. 5.6 Sion, couple of nerfs. Still good in lane. We'll have to see how it goes. Docile maybe is the wrong term. Nerfs might not be the right term either. Technically nerfed in 5.6. All it did was reduce power. Either way, it's strong obviously, but shifted power. I'm saying they got rid of Aurelia, right? The hardcore assassin-ish top laner, and said, look, play Sion who's less in your face, a little bit less in your face, to allow him to play Nidalee. That's all I'm going for with this one comparison. Anyway, guys, if you're hoping for a Teemo pick this game, sorry, but that's actually not going to happen this time. Did happen last week in European Challenger Series, though, and you can read all about that Teemo pick on lolesports.com. Yeah, the article titled Brain Freeze, Ashen Teemo? There's a question mark in the teleprompter. Details the success of the mid Teemo pick by Mouse Sports. But check out the article to see if their mid laner, So's Purefect, actually thinks you should pick him in solo queue. Definitely read that one and get his opinion on it. My answer is yes. I don't care what anyone else says. Teemo, best champion of the game. Keep that in mind, but we're going to go running away from you. Look at the cameras. No, it's because you said that. Why would you do that? Teemo's the best. You deal with it, guys. Here we are in a game. Big old Zac. He's green. He's ready to go. Reminds me of Flubber. Your Flubber sound? Pretty much. But this is, once again, comps that are opposite sides of the spectrum. Disengage, soft kite back from TDK, hard engage from Fusion. Yeah. They're really just kind of antithesis of one another. It's really well-rounded, though. Like, the more I think about TDK, because think about, like, what these champions do. Graves actually wants to go in and burst people. Lulu's a follow-up engage tool for champions like Zac.
Nidalee, after you land Javelin, can go into Assassinate. I think there's a surprising amount of volatility to TDK where they can flip a switch and go in and go pretty hard here. So Fusion,
30 seconds until
they kind of only have one direction they can go. TDK, I think, have multiple.
Seraph already trying to bully the enemy top laner, Chunky Fresh. He wants the... Here's the thing, is that's actually good for Chunky Fresh if he takes some damage, because then he just dies to a camp faster as Scion.
Well, as long as it hasn't been in 15 seconds, though, because right now, Seraph gonna make him recall. And he gets an aggressive ward that'll spot a wolf camp start.
Yeah, they're trying to stop the Scion, trying to stop Chunky Fresh from starting at a camp.
Minions have spawned.
Well, lane swap coming in, though, for Fusion here. I actually agree. Sivir, Alistair, later on, I think feels good against Graves, Gianna.
Is he going to spot this? No, they're hugging the wall right now.
Really?
They're hugging the wall.
That's a misplay.
He's not far enough up.
That's a misplay. He should be spotting it. He's actually alone here. Rek'Sai is about to spot that guy.
Nintendo has no idea, though. You don't get Tremor Sense until 2.
Oh, hold on. This could be all kinds of scary. Seraph coming in to stop Nintendo early on here. And will do so.
That's going to put him behind, especially against Kez, who got a decent start. Seraph can still stalk him, though, but he's going to go smite the wolves, make sure that this spirit can chase him out of the jungle if Seraph walks up. It'll ping him out, pings him out right there. They know that Seraph is heading into the jungle. He has to back off. He's getting nothing accomplished right now.
All right, it will be the Krug start. They saw wolves rewarded, so somewhere else to go. Seraph just going to help Kez in the jungle. No big problem here. Life seems fine. And it's a lane swap scenario. It's not like your top laner has to do all that much, but Chunky Fresh with a bit of a lead, a lot of potions, and a slow walk to the bottom lane.
Yep. He might TP, he might not, but regardless, good lane swap situation for the Scion, hitting the level 2, but also being a very big force in lane swaps. It's hard to keep a Scion out of the turret, especially since he started with Doran's shield too. Harassing him is a nightmare. It's hard to pull off.
Yeah, Gianna's not exactly a bully anyway. Now, Fusion, interestingly, allowed to get their own red buff here, even though it's on the weak side of the map, although I guess TDK did the same here. So neither team really trying to deny too heavily in the sort of second half of the first jungle clear. And he will be safe to take this one down.
Yeah, he doesn't get his own blue yet because he was pushed away and pushed off of that side of the map. He doesn't really need it, though, because his Rek'Sai... Look at that, Chunky Fresh! Actually took a shot there from Luigi G, and it looked like nothing had happened to him.
That's because nothing did happen to him. He's a big tanky Scion, and Graves going to take a long time until he gets any real meaningful damage there. Chunky Fresh on 9 CS. 2 of those was the jungle, 7 of those was the CS in lane. But TDK, Zach and Nidalee pretty darn good at taking down Dragon. They got to be careful how much they leash it, though. They just lost about 400 health worth of Dragon there because they keep switching who takes aggro.
Nintendo
spots him out, hits the Q. He knows they're there. Would you try for it?
They're kind of low, but Janna, Smoothie might be able to keep him out, yeah.
Yeah, she can just Q it away. No chance at all. Nice.
Better to not try it at that point. So Seraph, 4 minutes in the game, still sitting on 0 CS as that Nidalee. He can't get into these lanes, and Chunky Fresh has as much as the junglers right now.
Pretty impressive, Chunky Fresh. And the 1v1 actually level lead up on Luigi G. And yeah, quick draw for one auto attack. Not going to put a lot of progress down. So, Fusion here, getting a lot more XP right now. Chunky stayed in lane. Seraph got them a dragon. We'll see which one ended up being worth it so far as we get ourselves farther into this game. But man, this Scion's just going to be too big for Seraph to deal with in pretty much any time during this game.
Yep. Got off to a really good start. Didn't get that one-on-one lane matchup because Seraph didn't spot the duo lane coming to the top.
Yeah.
It's one of those things too that you would kind of expect that if they were lane swapping, maybe they'll give a leash. Maybe you'll see the top laner double jungling. But it's Scion. He does his own camp. So Seraph really kind of misplayed in finding that lane.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate here on Fusion. Sit 400 gold up as a result of all this. Watch the mid lane matchup now, and Huhi actually looking very good early on here on LeBlanc, up 8 CS. He's even got the lane frozen under his turret, and Rek'Sai, by the way, pretty good ganker, and LeBlanc has good follow-up, so Kyle, without great ward coverage, has to respect this really heavily.
It's true, he can't walk up. Huhi can always just engage on him, get the ethereal chains, get the gank assistance from Nintendo.
Man, this is tricky. So TDK lane swaps back. Now they recall for pickaxe. The AD carry has an item lead. And in fact, they can force a bad recall by Fusion because they can always push in. TDK can. Which means they can actually build a lead, a secondary lead for Luigi G over Nian Tanso. But this 1v1 matchup down here, a 2-level lead for Chunky Fresh. Attempted gank and a freeze, by the way, as well. Life is hard for Seraph.
But Seraph got a blue buff right now. I don't know how long he's going to keep it, but Kez handed their own blue buff off to him so he can continue to poke and try to harass in this lane. But like you said, he's 2 levels down. It's a big uphill battle, and even with that buff, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I agree completely, but Nintendude, thanks to his lane lead, will be able to get some more ward control for Fusion as he takes down the 5.6 Scuttler and keeps the farm going. Once again, Kez opens up with Sightstone after the jungle item.
He's not going to get much for this. He's heading towards that bottom side jungle, and it was cleared out by Nintendude.
That's pretty impressive. It's really good by him. Like, just a note, yeah, my bot lane's winning for sure. You can't do anything about this. Take the camps away, delay Kez's growth here. I really, really like it.
They're going for a back gank. He's going to come over the wall. They're going after Seraph.
They're going to go for Seraph. They get the knockup, but a little bit of damage here, forcing him to flash away. Seraph at half health.
Oh, he's going in.
Wow, a lot of damage on Nintendude. In comes Zach as well, smites him. And it forces the flash out of Nintendude, the re-engage.
Oh, he gets to go in.
Wow, forcing Chunky's flash as well. Really impressive by TDK.
Yeah, it's a level 4 Nidalee against a level 6 Scion. Chunky Fresh's ultimate.
They were down 3 levels total.
Off to the right, exactly. 3 levels total in that bottom lane. Really huge disparity there between them. But Kez rushes the Sightstone. He's now ready to just ward up and try to keep tabs on Nintendude, something he couldn't do last game, even with his Sightstone.
Well, thankfully, this time around, though, he gets a nice counter gank, and that gives him the time to ward all this up and make...
Oh, Kyle's got to watch it.
The burst comes out from Huhi. And, of course, Zach is right behind Huhi here. Goes in for another harass, but be careful. Ignite is on. Misses the chain. That's big. That would have been the kill on Kyle if he had hit it. And Huhi loses the passive. Zach...
Kyle
gets the passive version.
It's worth gold. Kill it.
25? Oh, he didn't last hit it?
Nope, didn't last hit it.
Scion Spartan, darn it. Come on.
Actually,
that's cannons only.
Yeah. Kyle held on to his wild growth. He hasn't used it yet. So Huhi was kind of distancing his spells, trying to bait the spell, but Kyle is just not using it. He's waiting for that exact moment where it's going to be he dies or he gets it off. Oh, Trance. Trance is the... Ooh.
Yeah, you're not going to outsmite a jungler when you're the support. It's all as well. But, yeah, off of that time, though, Luigi goes aggressive.
Yeah. They immediately get to put the pressure on in that top lane. Louis could freeze this if he wanted to.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to right here. Now, the ward by Trance will spot out Kez in the next few minutes. They know he took red. He went down to the bottom right-hand side. And in fact, Nintendude actually going to spot him as well with the Tremor Sense in that eastern jungle. But Trance getting free time to clear the wards away. Got to feel pretty good about that.
Smack that other one for good measure.
He could sweep it.
Now they're trying to keep Niantanso away from the farm, trading as much as they can because he wants to break the freeze. He wants to throw his Boomerang Blade or Ricochet, start clearing it. Jungle fight over the Gromp. Nintendo hits the 6, though.
That's pretty nice. Forcing Kez around here. Going to force the recall off the Zac. And nice. Nintendo is able to stop recalls as well.
There's a different priority this game. Last game, it was all go to the bot lane, get Niantanso ahead, gank for him. Now, it's let them 2v2 each other.
Just hardcore trades, and it's going really well as levels come in here. Boomerang Blade's base damage is really high and immediately breaks the Janna shield, and Alistair feels safe enough to just go in and make these trades. Huhi, again, finds a bit of damage on a Kyle.
Like I said, the priority is different, though, and now they're focusing bottom lane with jungle ganks.
Out he goes.
It looks like Seraph just wants more help in this bottom lane. He's going after a Trinity Force on Nidalee.
Oh, weird. Yeah, he started with the components of Phage.
It's Bruiser Nidalee. He doesn't have any AP in his runes or masteries.
Interesting. Bruiser Nid, though, when we used to see that champion played a lot more, didn't seem to scale very well. I don't really remember a lot of Bruiser Nidalee ever since the big changes.
She's played to dominate lane in solo queue. It's really rough to transition her into the late game, especially now that Spear just has such great AP ratios on it. She W'd in, Nintendo's going over the wall.
And he lands the Q, a lot of slows coming in as well. Seraph without a flash, nowhere to go. First blood goes to Chunky Fresh, and finally, the attention pays off. A 24 minion lead and a kill.
Nintendo is on point with where he needs to put his jungle ganks and his pressure in this series.
Oh, Trance. Didn't headbutt properly there.
That immediately changes and creates a power vacuum. Luigi G gets to go hard.
Good spell shield blocks the ultimate, pops someone to heal. Luigi G actually in a bit of a bad spot. Exhausted Ignite traded by the supports as well, but Trance ulti, his Pulverize is up. He's gonna find Luigi D. A great Q comes across, but by the way, the bot lane getting dove at the same time. Seraph comes back with a teleport, takes him down. Chunky Fresh gonna also die for this one. Yeah, he gets the passive kill, but Huhi roams up as well. Flashes, jumps on in, nice E skill shot there. 2 for 2 in the grand overall, and a turret picked up.
Yeah, having him come back from the dead, get some final hits on that turret, but now Seraph gets to push this bottom lane. Chunky Fresh will have TP when he's back up. This might be the second dragon for TDK. A little consolation prize. Yep, Nintendo goes to the top side, so he's actually not going to be anywhere near that dragon.
No one's around to stop that whatsoever. I guess Chunky Fresh could TP, but there's just no ward control whatsoever. And even Kyle's ready to defend this. So Fusion realize they cannot contest. TDK, they are down 2,000 gold thanks to CS and now 2 turrets, but 2 drugs to nothing.
It's not going to mean that much, though, compared to that 2.9k gold lead. The second dragon's going to help you kill those structures and possibly get back to it, but you have to reach those structures first. Right now, TDK are not getting the lane shoves on. They're basically reacting to what Fusion are doing. And you see Kez, a reactionary play. The TP comes in, uses his ulti to just push them past the turret. And now Seraph is picking up some kills. So that's the bright spot here for TDK. But on the overall, after Chunky gets this turret, they give up the top lane turret. 2 turrets for 2 dragons. It's not a good trade. You had to, eventually, it's kind of a payoff later on.
Yeah. I mean, the question, though, does stand if TDK manages to... I mean, like, after the outer turrets go down, it's much harder to kill tier 2s. I agree they are farther behind right now. There is the occasional world in which that trade does pay off.
Yes.
If you're able to turtle for a while. Now, I do, however, think that TDK is fairly desperate. The Graves, Luigi G, just got a Brutalizer. He couldn't afford a BF sword. And so he's like, I just need power now. I just need to stop losing so darn hard in my lane. It's going to give him a pretty miserable late game going for this Youmuu's build. Considering they have no damage anyway.
Smoothie.
Oh man, that's actually pretty rough. Good root lands, the Ignite is on, and wow, Wild Growth is enough. Huhi can't get enough, but Trance sure can. Finds the headbutt, finds the Pulverize. Walks out safely. More fights going on, the double knockup. In comes Huhi one more time, guides the chain onto Kez. Kez should have passive, gets popped, but all of Fusion is here. Who gets the kill? Neon Tonso, I'm guessing. Yep, they back off. You're gonna go to the AD carry.
Yep, they just like to funnel gold in the Neon Tonso. Oh, he punts him back!
Wow, a whole bunch of damage in. Kyle flashes away, he's gonna stay alive, but mid lane's under fire.
Kyle has no mana, he can't stay here anymore to wave clear or do anything. So this is gonna be another turret, the last outer turret for Fusion going down.
Wow, what great play by Fusion there. The 3 turrets, just like last game, very quickly, they all seem to go down. Neon Tonso keeps going to wherever the weak lane is, or wherever a turret still stands and saying, we're gonna push this. And because Fusion's grouped up and they pick engage, right? Before it was, we got Sejuani, now it's we have Alistar. They find the stuns, they reliably land them, the fights start, and they take down turrets because of it.
And Fusion are looking very strong. They're saying, even though they're the lower seeded team in this matchup, that they dropped games off broadcast mostly to just recover the next day, to get their strategy worked out. And we've just seen this team grow over the Challenger Series. Nintendo wasn't there week 1. They had Mimo. Chunky Fresh and Trance have been getting adapted to the team and showing up really big. And now that they're all on the same page with their strategy of Nintendo, move around the map, get whoever needs the attention fed. And you can see it right here, going after Seraph again.
Flash knockup, but Kez on the backside. The Q's gonna miss. Nintendo very low on health, but the, oh yeah, Kez gonna do it.
The new guys coming up.
Oh, he heals, I take it back. It's still happening. Smooth with the knockup with the 3-on-3. Oh, that's pretty big. Then can he get enough? But this one pops it point blank. It's not much of a stun, but Huhi now joins the fight. Everyone is here except for the AD carries, and that's gonna be a dead top laner.
Over the wall.
Knockup over the wall gets Kez a nice reset by Smoothie, but it's not gonna be enough. Kills come through back and forth as Kyle picks up 2 as well, but the Undead Scion gets a 3rd here. It's a fight win for Fusion. They're gonna go for the 4th. Smoothie, red buff is on him. Triple kill for Huhi. 4-2 in that battle.
Man, Huhi picking up 3 kills for himself. He went Athene's first item, and he's still chunking squishies on this LeBlanc. This is post minor AP tweaks on the ultimate LeBlanc, too. Trance, he doesn't even care about turrets. This is his Alistar play.
And a great spell shoot by Neon Tonso takes some of that Graves damage. That armor pen Graves, who would burst, but misses some of the spells. And another kill comes through thanks to Trance. A delayed ace, essentially.
Trance, like we said, 0-0 and 28 on that Alistar for the season. Just adding more to it.
1-0 and 35. 36 KDA Alistair, not bad.
Over 3 games against 3 different teams.
Yep.
Actually, this is his second game of Alistair against
Okay.
TDK.
Yeah, that's right.
3 different occasions. 2 different teams.
3 different occasions, good enough for me, though. The guy's playing absolutely great as champion. Oh, jumps on in, gets the chains onto Seraph. Bruiser in Italy, no boots of speed, but
2 seconds on Ignite.
nicely.
2 seconds on Ignite.
Flash up, he doesn't even need Ignite. God. Whew. Poor Nidalee.
That's an Athene's Sork shoes that hasn't backed after his triple kill.
Yeah, he's sitting on, I'm going to say 2,500? 1,900. Okay, 1,900 gold for the Nidalee here. Bot lane attempt, the Chunky Fresh, it gets the ulti stop. Nice by Kez, a good knockup as well by Janna. It is here, but is it going to be nearly enough? The answer looks like no. Chunky Fresh, no flash, gets a stun, but running lower and lower on health. Kill goes to Kez, 2, 2, and 3 on Zach. And they got to run away from this guy a little bit.
TDK, 6.5k down. You can see how much it takes to put that Scion down. He doesn't even have that many items yet. Another thing too is this Bruiser Nidalee may have worked a long time ago. It doesn't seem to be working today.
It was a lane swap.
It's all about getting a good lane matchup and bullying it.
Yeah, I mean, he came into lane down 2 levels. Anyone's going to lose the matchup at that point. Fusion, they lane swap practically every game. You see, once again, they're good at lane swaps. Chunky Fresh kills the camp, walks into lane, gets practically every CS. Seraph duo jungles for a while and shows up late, like level 3 to 5, and unsurprisingly has a really hard time of it. I mean, props to Seraph for getting close in CS. He's only down 14.
Yeah, and another thing about why they're good at lane swaps is who he knows when to roam.
Yeah, he does.
We talked about how he likes to split push. He's kind of transitioned that from I'm going to split push to I'm going to just roam around and I will split push if I have to. Like you saw there, he was staying top for a split push against Seraph after trying to snipe him down. Now he's just going after roams. He's going after people on side lanes to make this early game much smoother for Fusion, and you can see it happening. The 6.6k gold lead, they pick up their first dragon.
Seraph having to play aggressively still. Wow, actually barely tags the knockup.
This is it's a really rough.
Seraph, I don't think you're gonna win that one. I don't think you are at all. Wow, easy kill given away. That was a misplay, I am sure, by Seraph. Knock him into Smoothie, knock him into the team. Why the heck not? Who he finds Kyle, though.
Chain.
Ooh, real close, though. Even still, it's not great for Smoothie. He's already popped. No, he hasn't popped his ult. He pops his flash.
Crash has flash. Is he going to go for it?
No.
No.
Wait, hold on. Who he's behind, though? If they push the wave in, he could go for a push. And by the way, Tanto's still pushing bottom, exactly.
He's about to have another minion wave too. This is big. He can actually hit the inhibitor turret with this wave because he has another one backing it up. There's going to be at least 10 minions left by the time this is done.
Oh man, who's going to respond to this one because top lane's still getting pressured?
Yep,
A lot of
Louis
come in. All right, well, Louis gets the farm. No continued pressure. Fusion wanted to play safely, buy their items up off their recent team fight and structure victories. And that's fine. A slightly more risk-averse style in the first 20 minutes.
Ooh. Nian camping in the bush, just trying to create pressure with his own split push here as the AD carry.
Louis doesn't want to stay. I mean, look, look at Louis' build. It's so heartbreaking. It's like, I really hope it's not Yomu's Last Whisper, because that just smells defeat to me. All right, Pickaxe was there for the first recall. He bought another longsword, though, after Yomu's. If it's only Armor Pent Graves, he has nothing but R in a team fight, then who's going to do any damage at all? Nintendo getting jumped on, though. Counter-juggling without a team around. He's going to get popped. Yes, he does. Seraph gets a kill. Fusion occasionally giving these credits away, but it's an 8k gold lead at 19-20 minutes.
They're going to need a lot more picks. We're talking about 6 or so.
Yeah.
Oh, he stopped it. That's aggressive because there's the turret still there.
That's his flash for it. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to knock down this Scion who's on Frozen Heart Spectre's Cowl still, but they're going to keep trying for a bit. Yeah, Seraph burns his flash, gets nothing to show for it.
There's still a flash available.
Oh, man.
Trance roaming around the map on that Alistar.
Lunk's close too.
He's still deathless. This is how much he doesn't care. He dodges it.
Ducks in Seraph. Where's the pulverize going to come from? Flash away from Scion. Chunky Fresh is scared. Louis goes in but gets exhausted. This could be a good counter engage for TDK. Knockback comes in for Janna. Trance is separated. The ulti will end in a second. And actually, Fusion, very over-aggressive and now giving away 2 kills in a row. Kyle's still in the mix, gonna go for who he's gonna get him. That's 3 kills in a row for TDK. They are clawing their way back in.
Baron's up too, but they're not gonna go for it just yet. They still have to deal with Nia and Tonso with their AD carry, so they're gonna actually just trade turrets now.
Oh man, well, mid lane tier 2 better than top lane outer for sure. TDK getting to capitalize off of the over-aggression of Team Fusion. But how much can they really get out of all this? Couple of aggressive wards come down. So you're going to be able to recall and not get stopped.
If he jumps right into Nien. Oh boy.
That's maybe dead Seraph?
Seraph?
Yep. Red buff the Intanso.
Yep, red buff, 3 crits, it looked like in that. And the fact that he has already the IE plus a crit item and attack speed, he's ready to go. He's ready to split push. And it's even static Shiv, just to wave clear harder.
Well, Shiv IE, definitely better team fighting build than Luigi G's Yomu's Last Whisper. Now, you and I actually cast a game like this in Challenger Summer last year. It was Hood Stomp on Draven, who went Armor Pen Draven. He's like, yes. I can't get in a team fight. I'm getting dove all the time. I'm just going to press E and R and be like, yep, my life sucks. I'm going to cast spells.
Like, what do you want me to do against a Syndra and all this dive? They're just going to point and click on me.
Yeah.
So he wants to be able to throw out his spells, his ultimate, and just have it do as much damage as he can, because he's not going to stay in for the crits.
Yeah, well, problem is it's not going to do anything as Graves. Again, they need a persistent damage source. It's not going to be Seraph, and it's certainly not Lulu. And I'm just very afraid for what this TDK team comp can even do later on in the game.
They need to survive. They need to survive the initial hard engage and kite backwards. You saw up in the top lane the kind of long, prolonged skirmish that the Lulu had a good showing in.
Yeah, which is why you build crit. It's better for long-term engages.
Yes.
Burst Graves not really fitting the comp here. Burst on into Kyle. They try to get him. Wow! No, he stays alive. The re-engage comes through, and hey, you know what? That burst hurt a little bit, but there's no follow-up left. And Sion is near the side.
Oh. See?
All right,
Lily's off on the side here.
I mean, he's taking damage and all. And they're going to let him alone, actually. Fusion going to let Chunky Fresh die. Fusion having a really hard time closing this game out or kind of stamping out an advantage. It's now down to a 6K gold lead. It only took 3 minutes to chop the gold lead into 2/3.
And you can see the durability there from the team. TDK need fights like that, where they stay alive through the initial burst of Huhi. They're able to continue. Even it's a Fed LeBlanc. It's a 5-1 and 3 LeBlanc.
Yeah.
An amazingly high CS Nia and Tonso. If you can survive those crits and back off and then get the counter engage, you're going to be in a good spot for TDK.
Yeah, Seraph still getting farmed, still split pushing. TDK really not saying die in this game. Absolutely, they are not rolling over. They're going to actually get a tier 2 turret in the top lane. Seraph.
A lot of split push here from him, too.
Good.
A lot of split push power in his build. This is a split pushing Nidalee if I've ever seen it.
I'm pretty sure he's going Shiv next. Trinity Force Shiv, I think that's going to be the build we see. That's like a
classic
Gangplank build.
Nidalee build.
That's a Gangplank build.
Where's the IE?
No, you didn't even buy that. Get a Hydra.
Oh, man. No, you go IE just so your parlay crits.
Nah.
Parlay.
Real men don't rely on crit for Gangplank. All right. Rexy ulti coming in, Dude and Co. will take Dragon number 2. Looks like finally TDK realized they have to see map control. Again, they had gotten the first 2 Dragons kind of as payment for Fusion pushing turrets down. They had traded those objectives. But Fusion, since retaining map control, have just taken 2 Drags in a row, unrelenting here. They tied that score up, and the turrets really haven't been equalized yet.
And that's the thing is, whenever somebody gets an early turret lead and they give 2 turrets up for 2 dragons, I always think to myself, well, that team's not going to get a 3rd dragon. Because they're
right.
3K down, the next team fight is most likely going to go to the team with the gold advantage. Because that's not going to give you too much in a team fight if you're just able to kill turrets a little faster.
Yeah, that worked really well for these guys. The 6% AD AP from Dragon 1, not meaning enough, certainly.
Yeah, because you buy a lot more with that gold spread across your team.
I mean, I absolutely agree with you, and you're right. TDK was unable to kind of maintain that Dragon control because of the gold difference. Seraph, a ton of attack speed, though. I mean, I haven't seen Billy attack this long in a very long time. And Luigi G starting on his Infinity Edge now, so he's going to have some backing crit for it eventually. He will get that red buff for himself, but be careful because Trance is nearby. Janna disengage, but look at this. The Intanso, once again, he's split pushing on an 80 carry. Nothing I haven't seen before here. And that turret's getting lower and lower.
The big part of this game is, can Seraph eventually duel Chunky Fresh and get advantages. He's going to go mid. He's going to get another turret.
Yeah, it's got to be Huhi running down the map trying to stop this one. Seraph just clears these waves so incredibly fast.
He's a menace.
He's an absolute menace. It's really impressive seeing Seraph play in this game. We said at the start he was maybe the best player on the team. He certainly seemed to have a really good impact. And he's been really causing Fusion to do whatever he wants to do.
They know he doesn't have TP because he TP'd into that last fight. As soon as they see him bottom, Fusion just gets a free shove. And if they get caught in this side of the jungle on TDK,
yeah,
that could be a Baron for Fusion.
The difficulty, though, for Fusion is, yeah, you're right, the only play on the table is Baron here, and you got to be wary that TDK do have some decent code available for themselves.
But they don't have vision either, and they're zoning. It's going to be hard to get into that pit.
Ooh, this could be a whole big risk. Pink ward popped in. Baron down fairly low, down to 6K right now.
They have to go for the risky smite. Seraph's not going to show up to this.
Okay, it's going to be its bot turret is going to go down no matter what. Kez has to try to make something happen. 2K health. There comes the engage. Turret goes down. Flash over the wall. Who's going to get the damage down? So a lot of knockouts going back and forth, and they find Trance. 1700 health still on Baron. No one wants to kill it, and Louis gets the burst down. The armor pen Graves finds 2. Neon Tatsu going to be the 3rd casualty, and Fusion get completely crushed.
They're going to lose the bottom turret too. Seraph is about to crack the base and get an inhibitor.
Oh my gosh, TDK, the only hope for them was some kind of continued throw by Fusion, and over, over-aggression inside the jungle, taking fights they shouldn't. They try for Baron, and the Seraph split push pays off massive. The inhibitor goes down. The team wins a 4-for-0 fight. Wow.
4-for-0 in a 4-on-5.
Yeah.
They let the Baron just chunk them down slowly but surely on Fusion's side, and TDK played that incredibly well. I want to see that fight over again, because the way that Kez plays it, they throw so many wards down. They're like, you can't clear all of these in time. It's at 3K. Kez isn't looking for the smite. He's looking for the engage. He knocks them all out of the pit, and they can't continue to deal damage to this Baron. It sits at 1700, and then they layer everything on top. Louis throws out his Yomu's, throws out his ultimate. His buckshots are just shredding that grouped up team.
It was really impressive. Kez actually, he flashed to land the ulti on the big backline threat. The flash Janna ulti to keep the front line squared away as well. Alistair and Sion were stuck in the pit. Kez hit a 3-man ulti, went back and knocked back Chunky Fresh again to buy more time for his AD carry. And Burst Graves worked here. Huhi, it's a lot of damage,
what the?
He W'd out and stayed alive. Gets the kill 1v1.
Huhi. Man, the clone went down there. It looked like he died across the collateral damage, but Louis gets dropped just barely.
All right, guys, so let's reset. TDK had a miserable early game, a miserable lane swap, but Fusion, like always, they don't know how to play around 20 minutes into the game. They had given 4 kills away in just like 3v3s in a row.
Think of how
tried for Baron, lost even more.
Think of how many turrets they gave up. Seraph is running them around the map on this Bruiser Nidalee. He doesn't care about fighting people. He cares about taking those turrets down. He's a demolitionist.
And it's just impressive by TDK. I mean, the support pickups there, right? Janna and Lulu. We kind of didn't talk about this because we were worried about all the Nidalee and everything else. It's a double support comp with a tank and a Graves, who is actually one of the tankier AD carries. Actually, the tankiest, I suppose, is not Urgot.
Yeah, they want the prolonged fight.
Right,
they want to wear you down.
There's no dive here for Fusion. There's no... Actually, there is reliable lockdown, and theoretically there's burst as well. The problem is not enough damage comes through the Janna Lulu, so Fusion, and I was saying it as they're going for the Baron, the only aggressive objective available to Fusion is like top tier 2 and Baron. That's it.
Yep.
And because Seraph kept creating pressure, it was like Fusion was under the gun. Like, we got to pick something. We got to do something. They chose Baron and it backfired.
Even though you see Seraph's scoreline, he's a big player in this game. 4, 5, and 3, most deaths on his team, but the amount of pressure he's creating is something you can't measure in that scoreline.
There is a thing you can measure, that's his level. He is the highest level champion, actually not Neon Tatsu, he's 16, but otherwise in the game. He came into the 1v1 against Chunky Fresh, 3-5. Now it's 15-14. Seraph has been everywhere in the mid game, and it's been great to watch.
This next dragon, this 3rd dragon for either team, the movement speed is going to be big getting them around this map because both teams want to run the other one down. One wants to run in, the other one wants to run back.
Well, it looks like TDK not having to run back here. Seraph going to get uncontested control over Dragon. It's going to be there. So the move speed buff is going to go over. Seraph, by the way, runs ridiculously fast. He's already got the Triforce, already got the Shiv, but he's running at 445 movement speed, 475 when running through brush.
And he's running towards somebody who's hunted. He's going at like 500
something, yeah. Really breaking the speed of sound there. And because we measure movement speed in miles per hour in League of Legends, obviously.
Dang, is that what MS stands for? There's actually a miles per hour.
Meters per
somewhere.
second.
Meters per second.
But
it's like thousands of meters.
I know. Teemo's actually really big, guys. Because, you know, we measure it in Teemos.
100 Teemos. He's 100. He's 100 miles wide.
Yep.
Just imagine this game on an enormous scale. This is actually the entire just planet. That's all Summoner's Rift is.
Right. It's all of Runeterra, actually, is the Summoner's Rift. That's not actually true. That's not the canon. No. But you know how some people say, like, would you rather fight a Teemo-sized Hecarim or a Hecarim-sized Teemo? You think a Teemo-sized Hecarim is, like, cute like a little chihuahua. No. That thing is still massive. And it will devour you with either one of its mouths.
And a Teemo-sized...
That's what I'm saying.
Or Hecarim-sized Teemo. That's Satan incarnate, please.
The blinding dart is as big as your face.
It would be much bigger than that.
Yeah, it's true.
We're talking about miles now. Things are getting on a huge scale. That's Zach. His head's in the clouds.
Well, when he jumps like that, he certainly is. Very tall person. Or blob, or whatever you want to call him.
He's a blob person. He's both.
Well, bottom and hits coming back up right now. Seraph's ready for that one.
He's going after this turret. He doesn't care.
It's not going to get much.
It's
I mean,
halfway
the
down.
inhib respawn, so good luck with that one.
Actually, there's two people coming on him.
Okay, so it's a 4v3 up here. They go in on Trance, who pops the ulti and stays alive for now, but gets re-slowed. Niantanzo pops the ulti. He's going to get out. It's a 2-on-1 down on Seraph, but Seraph's too fast.
Exactly. There's two people on Seraph right now. Baron Control goes over to TDK. They're only 1k down, but they're so close in this game. They're actually going to start this up, and there's a big numbers advantage for them. Seraph is just keeping Nintendude in lock, so he can't go up there.
This guy's not going to die. Now it's a 4v3 on Baron.
Oh, boy.
Previously it was a 4v5 on Baron, and it went TDK's way. Got to be careful. In comes the engage. Who are they going to find? They find Luigi G in the back of the Baron pit. 1,300 health on, but there's no jungler. Baron goes in, and the first kill to TDK. What else can they get as the inhib falls the bot lane as well? Another kill picked up as Niantanzo goes down, and Nintendude X is next. Only 2 surviving members of Fusion.
Seraph,
and Seraph,
the base.
He is still inside the base with that Baron buff. Chunky
He's going to
Fresh
end it.
can't do much about this. The second Nexus turret going to be going down, and TDK looking to tie this scoreline up 1-1. Never say die. Seraph MVP this game by a lot. Takes down the entire base by himself.
So let's talk about how Bruiser Nidalee may have been a good build before. I was a little tunnel visioned on team fights, on the fact that Fusion's going to start team fights. He just wanted to split push all game and win it for them with his Trinity Force against turrets. Tons of damage, man.
Yeah, that was tons of damage coming out. Static Shiv helped with that one as well. And I got to say, just the split push power was great. Overall, it was heartbreaking for Fusion, though.
Yeah.
They were up. Was this the game they were up 8k at 20 minutes?
This is the game that they were up about 8,000 gold. Seraph ran them around the map and got turrets. Seraph single-handedly got his team back into this game with his pressure. With the fact that his team played that one Baron fight perfectly with their engage was amazing. It looked like Fusion had this in the bag. 2-0. We're going to a game 3.
Yeah, the thing is, Fusion still have those issues 20 minutes into the game. You know what they could have done? Send Huhi against Seraph. Split push neutralized. 4v4 with an 8,000 gold lead. We gonna kill some turrets, boys. We're gonna keep the vision control. It's gonna go fine. Not a great attribution of resources. As it turns out, TDK had the plan all along. Ban just the Aurelia. All right, Chunky Fresh, get your Scion. Don't worry, we'll style on it later on. Just get out of the laning phase. And that happened. Fusion, they went for the 2-man turret kill. Zach was there, Seraph TP, Seraph gets a kill and an assist. He gets back in, gets some gold, gets some experience. Okay, mid-game comes around, big gold lead. Nintendude solos a buff with no ward control, gets caught, dies. Top lane fight, 3 more kills go over to TDK. Oh my gosh, more gold's coming in here. Brings the gold lead back to around 6k, 25 minutes in, and suddenly things start looking a whole lot better, and TDK start having some things to work with and some items in their inventories. And it worked.
There's only one way they could have won this game, and that was off of that Baron play going in TDK's favor and the pressure of Seraph, because that was when Louis GG's sitting on all armor pen, layers his ultimate and his buckshot across the whole team, gets maximum damage from those 2 abilities. He ends the game 100 CS lower than Nian Tanso.
Yeah.
He was having a miserable early game and a miserable mid game. It was that one fight. That's the only thing that could have possibly gone right for them, and it went perfectly.
Yeah.
4-for-0 when it's a 4-on-5. That
Baron helped, to be fair, but they
Man,
outplayed it.
It was just absolutely great shot calling there and division of resources by TDK. Because at that point, Louis GG goes, oh, I'll just finish my IE. And then from there, he's a bigger threat.
Then he's relevant.
He doesn't need those types of situations to be relevant then.
Right, exactly. And it was so impressive watching the team fight. I keep replaying it in my mind because so many good things happened. Janna starts up a tornado, lets it full channel, and Zach's like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready. Tornado hits, knocks up 3, and Zach's like, they can't dodge.
Yep.
3-man knockup, gets the burst down. Janna flashes in, push the backline away so that you've got Rek'Sai, LeBlanc, and Sivir stuck on one side. The other two are in the pit, getting hit by Baron. Zach ult hits with a flash. Buckshot comes across. Glitterlance comes across. Everyone's at like 10% now. And then Zach goes back to knock the other guys in. He's like, no, Sion, stay out of this fight. I mean, so many good things happen. And this is the team, by the way, that don't all even speak the same language.
Yeah. And
in fact, they still coordinated it.
Seraph gets an inhib off of that.
Yeah.
Opens up the bottom lane, which means they can go back to that Baron with that constant pressure. And Seraph doesn't even group up with the team. He's like, I'm not going to fall into that. My build isn't suited to that.
There's no reason to.
I'm going to keep pushing bottom. He's not going to just let the super minions do their own thing.
Yeah.
Slowly cracks the turret, and the Scion couldn't deal with him. I thought that was absolutely brilliant here, and you might just have to ban out the Nidalee now instead of the Lysandra, or drop the Morgana ban for it.
Yeah, the thing is for Fusion, though, if they had played that game a little bit more secure, if they had actually stayed in lanes, they would have been fine, because Sion was still ahead of Nidalee when split pushes started.
Yeah.
She's not going to break through him. If they had managed to keep their lanes and just do the slow push instead of getting run around the map by the extra move speed Nidalee, it would have been fine. But a lot of factors of being over-aggressive, looking for fights they shouldn't, giving those empty lanes away, and then taking that really risky Baron. Unfortunate for Fusion. Hopefully for them, they can regroup because we got another game to go. One more quick break for us, but the scoreboard is now evened up 1-1. That means when we return, we're going to host a decisive Game 3 between Team Fusion and TDK with a trip to the finals on the line. Don't want to miss it. Good root lands, the Ignite is on, and wow, Wild Growth is enough. Hooey! Can't go get enough, but Trance sure can.
Over the wall.
Knock up over the wall, gets Kez a nice reset by Smoothie, but it's not going to be enough. Kills come through back and forth as Kyle picks up 2 as well. No one wants to kill it, and Louis gets the burst down. The Armor Pen Graves finds 2. Nian Tanso going to be the 3rd casualty. Baron goes in, and the first kill to TDK. What else can they get as the inhib falls the bot lane as well? Another kill picked up as Nian Tanso goes down.